And as you know, we going with the EKG like step by step. We started to talk about the background of the heart, anatomy, physiology, electric function, and the conduction system. So we done with the SA node, and we done with the variation of SA node, and then we went through the atrial and how we can reach diagnosis of atrial. Now we are going with junctional. What we mean by the word junctional? Junctional means AV node and bundle of His. To make our understanding clear, junctional, we are going to talk about the second step, which is the AV node and bundle of His. What we need to know about this chapter is very nice. As I told you, each chapter we are going to have one word to guide us about what is the key word to learn us and to remind us about what should we find according to this. If you put this information in front of you guys, you will find that easy to go with any strip if you follow the 5 steps which we mentioned before. Like we had and we used all the time, that the chapter is going to review everything for us. And from here, that patient assessment is the most important indicator for clinical significance from now. So all the previous situation, we don't have any necessity for resubmit assistant for the patient or assessment. So from now we are going to pay more attention, except the one situation which I told you before. It is in case of AF. Okay, so look here, this statement is very important, Joanna. Although junctional rhythm are not considered to be fatal or lethal. Lethal means fatal, means killing or or life-threatening. You should recall most patient assessment. Okay, so in the exam, they will ask you about this situation needs assessment or not need assessment and so on. So you have to be like wide brain thinking about what is the situation, and I did classification for this earlier. I hope you keep your notes. Then you find the similarity of each chapter about the SA node going to the internodal pathway, then going to the AV node and bundle of His, right and left bundle branch and Purkinje fiber. So we repeat each time. So there is no excuse for anyone to say that I put them in a wrong order, because in the exam they ask you about the order, and if you are not going with the order, of course you will be get no credit. So order is very easy. We repeated this many times, like we repeated the name of the waves many times. So it is not accepted at all for any students of you to get mistake for calling the name of wave. After that, we had the keyword, and as I told you yesterday at lab, that the keyword is retrograde. What we mean by retrograde? I simulate this one by, like you are going in a road or a street, and this is said that one way, and you move in the opposite direction. So one way to the right, but you start to move to the left. So are you going retrograde in the opposite direction of the normal? So far, it is retrograde equal negative P wave. I told you this yesterday. So when I put in my mind in junctional rhythm, it is retrograde, and this is also very important announced in the exam. It means what? Negative P waves all the time. P wave will be negative, not vary like in the atrial. We mentioned in the atrial, we mentioned it is vary, present, absent, upright, inverted, but here it is all the time is going to be negative. But we are going to learn one more issue. Besides it is negative, it can be before or after QRS. So this is something new. Before and after QRS. In either case, it is negative in both situations. And of course, if it comes behind the QRS, it will be hidden like we learned before. So the keyword is retrograde. That is to say, it is negative all the time. And we have like the flashcard to remind us about what is the firing rate for each one. And for our subject for today is the AV node and the bundle of Hess. So it will tell us 40 to 60 beats per minute. Okay. And from the beginning, as I told you yesterday also, if it is increased more than 60, look guys, pay attention. If it is more than 60, I will give the word accelerated. Till I reach to the number 100, I will give the name tachycardia. Okay? So we will have two situations. If the situation is above the number which is related to the site of origin, if it is above it, I will say accelerate. So we will get accelerated junctional, accelerated ventricular. But if the number reach 100 and above, I will say junctional tachycardia, ventricular tachycardia. I hope this is clear in front of you. Impulse in junctional rhythm is traveling away from the positive electrodes. So P wave will be inverted or negative all the time. So this is the explanation why P wave is negative all the time, because the impulse travel away from the positive electrode. So I told you in the first lecture that if the electricity is going toward the electrodes, it will be big. If it goes away from the electrodes, it will be negative. And here we have example to tell you that away from the positive will make the P wave look negative. Then what will be like the situation? The situation will be normal for QRS. And if you remember, Diana, we mentioned that normal QRS means what? One word, narrow. Narrow QRS is a normal. Okay, no problem or no change will happen with the QRS. Like we learned before that we have a premature issue or premature contraction. Also in junctional, we will get premature. Again, I remind you that we had three premature atrial, premature junctional, premature ventricular. So we touch the premature atrial. Now we are going to touch the premature junctional, and in the future we will touch the premature ventricular. So what should I know? I know what? I put my that so far negative P wave, it is junctional. If it comes early than what expected, I will say this is premature junctional contraction. Easy to be remembered. Okay, let us have strip to make our understanding, and this is like the slides. I need everyone to review the slides. Read the slides carefully. Okay, don't look to the header. Let us check our knowledge together. Who is fresh can go by this strip. And when I say go by this strip, follow the rule. What is the rule? What are the 5 steps? I need one of you to start with me, please. If you are ready, make your mic on.
I'll give it a shot. So let's see, we got a rate of 80 beats per minute.
Correct.
The rhythm looks irregular.
Very good.
There's a P wave before every normal QRS complex, but it looks like I see a premature junctional complex in which there's an absent P wave.
Okay, which one? Okay, you are very good. Which one? To help
So
your classmate.
it looks like the third beat might be the premature.
This one?
Yeah.
Very good. So this is premature. First, this is premature. But what the character? You mentioned that there is no P wave, or P wave is like negative or hidden. So it will be premature junction. So you get the correct answer. There's any another premature?
Yeah, the second to last one looks like yeah, that one.
Very good, very good. You are very good. Thank you, Lewis. So we have here one premature, we have here another one premature, and the other are going to be normal sinus. So this is your correct answer, premature junctional complex. Very good. Thank you, guys. So premature junctional complex, as with all ectopic beats, it is easier to be identified premature junctional complex if the rhythm is sinus or bradycardia. What do you mean by sinus and bradycardia? I can recognize each wave in particular, but if it is like tachycardia, everything will be like pegged. I can't go to detect such kind of premature beats. Very good. After that, we know that the premature can be like coming from, like I told you, one ectopic or more than one ectopic, like we did with the atrial. But here, let us go with this word, junctional escape rhythm. What this mean? What is the escape? The SA node fail to generate an impulse. So this is what the meaning with the word escape. So it is not the escape of the junctional, but escape of the SA node. The SA node is not doing the job. So at this time, all the beats coming with the character of the junctional. And we have the normal for this junctional, as you know from the previous, it is 40 to 60 beats per minute. So please, I need you to compare. This is like the SA node is not working, but here, if we go to the slide, you find that the SA node is working, but we have ectopic source or site to produce the junctional rhythm. Very good. So this junctional escape rhythm can be isolated, or it can be like series, many coming after like 1, it is like for the isolated, it is like 1 or 2. But if it is coming more than that, so it will be like series of escape rhythm, and the junctional bradycardia is defined as the rate less than 40 beats per minute. Then, what is the cause of escape, junctional escape rhythm? The SA node disease. This is why the SA node is diseased, so it is not in charge to produce the inputs, like hypoxia. And I need you to know that what we mean by the word hypoxia. Hypo means below or decreased. Oxia is for oxygen. So hypoxia is decreased oxygen in the blood. Increased parasympathetic, which is vagal, which is the cranial nerve number 10. We talked about this before, that the vagus nerve can make slow of the heart. Cardiac drugs, we mentioned what are the cardiac drugs that make slow of the heart. We mentioned this yesterday. And complete heart block, that the conduction is very, very poor or lost in between the SA node and the AV node. Let us have the explanation of the junctional escape rhythm. And like I told you, you have to highlight these slides for your revision. And of course, I actually provide you with flashcard with these items yesterday. Let us go by this one. Who can go with me? It is very easy and very interesting, and you can like respond or answer this one clearly. Okay, anyone can go with me?
Can I try this one?
Okay, who is talking? Diana?
Yeah.
Okay, go, Diana.
So the heart rate is 50 beats per minute.
Correct.
And the heart rhythm also looks the same.
Same, what we mean by the same? Give
Like
the word regular.
regular intervals.
Very
And
good.
the P wave is negative in all of them.
Very good. Very good.
And I think the QRS complex is okay, regular.
No, the QRS is narrow. Say the word to description.
Oh.
Don't say regular or whatever. We have term to be applied. Okay? Like I can say that you are a nice lady. Okay? So you are a lady. So this is your description. Okay? I can't say that you are a machine. No, you are a lady. Nice lady. Okay. So the QRS has a description. If it is normal, we call it is narrow. If it is abnormal, we say it is wide and bizarre. Save the description, please. It will guide you for correct answer. So you notice, Diana, that all of them are of character, that P wave are negative, and then it is very clear for everyone. If you don't notice that the P wave are negative, please let me know. We can make an arrow to guide you. So P waves are negative all the way. The QRS, like you mentioned, it is narrow. This means it is normal. And after that, what is your interpretation? Your interpretation is junctional escape rhythm. Why we put the word escape? Because we don't have any activity of SA node. Clear? Very good. Very good. So this is the junctional escape rhythm. Then, as I told you earlier, in the previous slides, Diana counted that the number is 50, which is okay. It is within the range, 40 to 60, within the range. But if the range or if the number exceeds this 60, I will say it is accelerated. Clear? We put the word accelerated. Till we reach that the number is 100, we call tachycardia. Easy? So this is the rule. Anything above the intrinsic firing rate, Lewis, we call it is accelerated. If we go Above 100 in any condition of cardiology, we say tachycardia. Clear. Okay, let us have the golden slides. And I gave you like a few minutes, read it to understand what we mentioned as a summary. All right, let us practice together. Mark, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I'm having some issues with my Wi-Fi.
Okay. Emily, are you there?
Yes.
Can you go by this strip?
Is it 70 beats per minute? I mean, heart rate. Is that how I say it?
You said it is 70 beats per minute. That's okay. Very
Okay,
good.
70 beats per minute. It is normal.
What is normal? We don't have to
I
mention
know,
this
it
word
is
normal.
Nardo.
What?
I don't really know how to say it. It's
How many times? Okay. Emily, I need you to meet me after we finish our Zoom meeting. Okay,
Okay.
stop. Okay, CD.
Yeah, so it's 70 beats per minute. It's narrow, and the
What?
P wave narrow,
What is narrow?
normal,
What is narrow?
normal.
Which
The
one?
QRS.
No,
The rhythm.
no, we don't go in this order. The order is 5 steps. Go in order, please.
Okay. So the rhythm is narrow, and the P wave.
No, this is not the word to describe the rhythm.
Atrial.
Regular.
Regular, correct.
Yeah.
So to describe the rhythm is either regular or irregular. You're not going to mention anything like you say narrow. This is not the description for the rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue, Zara.
Did you say my name?
Yes.
Okay. So she mentioned the heart rate, heart rhythm. Next P wave is absent. And then for PR interval, since there is no PR interval, you would just skip that step, right? And then the QRS complex they're all narrow.
Okay, very good. So what do you think this strip for?
Accelerated junctional rhythm because it's 70 beats per minute.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Makisha, make your camera on.
My camera's not working. It's on, but it's not showing up.
Okay, so can you repeat what Zara mentioned?
Zara mentioned that it was the length of usually less than 12 seconds when it comes to the P wave.
What? Say it again.
Are we talking about the P wave?
Zara never mentioned this before. I need what mentioned by Zara. Can you repeat it?
No, I cannot repeat it.
Okay. Then, if the number, as we mentioned, exceeds the 100, So we will give the name junctional tachycardia. And this junctional tachycardia has character. And I need you to save this word. It is common question in the exam. Paroxysmal. You see this word? Paroxysmal. What do you mean by paroxysmal, Irene? It means that not constant. So paroxysmal is the alternative to the word persistent or all the time. So paroxysmal means comes and goes. Okay, so if I say this is like, for example, paroxysmal tachycardia, this means it comes and goes. It is not present all the time. Okay, are you following me, Irene? Okay, so paroxysmal means comes and goes, and it has a character with the junctional, so we can say that this is paroxysmal tachycardia. And here, the tachycardia description, according to our knowledge, is in this table. The heart rate will be exceeds 100 up to 180 beats per minute, and you see all the changes which we mentioned. Let us look for this one. It is typically like junctional, but if we count the number will exceed 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. But it is not completing the 30 seconds, sorry, 6 seconds. So it will be like above 100. So we will mention it is tachycardia. Why we mention it is junctional? Because we noted that P wave is almost absent all the way. And why we call it the rhythm? Because we don't have any SA node activity like in the first slide we had this day. Then the clinical significance of junctional rhythm, the premature junctional contraction, can give some. Yes, ma'am.
Here, it's look like P wave. It's present in the tachycardia, junctional tachycardia rhythm. How I can
you find P wave here?
I didn't, but how I can make sure is not it's T wave maybe here, but
No, ma'am.
yeah.
You have to mention something which is makes sense, which is T wave. You say maybe here. No, it is actually here.
Yeah.
But where P wave? We don't have any P wave. You see any P wave here? You see any positive or any character of P wave, either positive or upright or inverted? So we mentioned that in tachycardia, the P wave most of the time will be hidden under the QRS. You got it? And sometimes here we have very important, but of course, actually, this is for your level of knowledge. But let me give you more advanced information. Let me talk with this, so I will make it easy for you. Pay attention. You have wonderful point that I have to cover for your knowledge. The AV node looks like this. Are you following me, guys? The AV node looks like this. It is going to be subdivided into 3 portions: upper third, middle third, and lower third. Actually, this is in advance of your knowledge, but you have to understand it for understanding this.
When
this
does
slide.
the AV node look like that?
So we have upper third, middle third, lower third. All right. So what should we know? We have to know that all the time P wave is negative. Okay, if I got the P wave coming from the upper source, so it will be here before URS. If it comes from the middle third, it will be hidden. If it comes from the lower third, it will be after URS. So please take notes about this information. It will make you much more easier to understand. So we roughly speaking with the students about this issue, saying that there is no P wave. But to be honest with you, the P wave actually, but it is like behind your knowledge. This is the P wave, which is negative and comes after the QRS. So this means it comes off from the lower third as the diagram I mentioned to you. So in all cases, here we have P wave, which is negative. So this is the character of junctional, and coming after the QRS, they are not going to ask you from which part from the AV node coming, but for your knowledge, you are very precious. So it is coming from the lower third of the AV node. So we have the P wave is negative coming after the QRS, and this guide us that this is junctional, and the number is above 100, so it is tachycardia. So this answers your question. I hope that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I need you guys to have impression about the clinical picture, because the clinical picture and significance will guide you throughout the study. After that, you will get the chapter review strip. And by the way, next week, God willing, on Tuesday lab, everyone has to bring his book. Okay, everyone has to bring his book, and I will look at your chapter review strips answer from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so all of these strips has to be reviewed by yourself, and according to my evaluation, I will give you credit. So please pay attention to this. Don't say that I forget my book, you will get 0. I don't complete it, you will get like less credit than you deserve. So please.
It was chapter
practice.
6 through 11.
No, 7, 8, 9,
7.
10, 11. 5 chapters. Again, on Tuesday, God willing, I'm going to check every one book for chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, chapter review strips. You have to answer. This is very good to practice. You are not going to jump between this and that. And you mentioned for the rhythm, it is like narrow, like I heard some incorrect description, and this is not accepted after all of this repetition and long time. This means you are not paying attention or you are not studying your chapter. Like we have here in chapter 9 review, so I go with everyone. Like here, we have to mention what is the rate, then we are going to mention what is the rhythm, then you have to comment on the P wave, and you have to comment on the PR interval, then the QRS complex, and after that you put your interpretation. And this is very important practice, and when you are get this very easy, believe me, you will answer the exam so smooth. So please pay attention to this, not only this chapter, but as I told you, from 7. You will practice and get your eye familiar about this. Let us do example for this one. So who can answer this one?
Do we have to write in our book? Can we just write it on?
I
a
can't
separate-
hear you. Okay, your voice, say it again, ma'am.
Do we have to write it in the book? Can we write it on a separate?
Yes. Write your answer in the book.
Okay.
Who can go by this? Stephanie, can you answer this strip?
Yeah, I think I could do it. So it's 70 beats per minute.
Very
The
good.
P wave is negative.
No, don't jump to P wave. What is number
Huh?
2?
The rhythm,
Yes,
right? Yeah, the rhythm is regular,
good,
and then the P wave is negative.
very good.
The QRX complex, they're all wide.
Before
Oh, the
QRS, we have
the-
PR interval.
I'm not sure about that one.
What? We have P, we have R, you can count the number. So far,
Oh.
you have the 2 parameters. If I say that, what is the distance between San Francisco and Oakland? We have Oakland, we have San Francisco, we can measure the distance. But if I ask you, what is the distance between San Francisco and fake name? So far, the fake name is not present. You can't get the number. Here, we have both P and R. So you count the distance and let us know.
Okay. Let's see. I think it's like 3 boxes. So would
Very,
that be,
very good. Very good.
Um,
So 3 boxes means what?
would it be less than 12 seconds
No,
or 4?
it is
What?
okay. Less than 20 seconds. Very good. But 3 boxes means what?
Um,
You multiply this by 0.04, so it will be 0.12, right?
mhm.
So put the correct number. Don't say it is less than. Just correct the number. You did your job. Okay. So
Okay.
the PR interval and then the QRS.
That's they're all narrow,
Very good.
and then the interpretation, if I said it was 70 beats per minute, so it would be accelerated junctional rhythm.
Very good. Accelerated junctional rhythm. Very good. Thank you. As you see, guys, if you go step by step, it will be very important and very helpful. Otherwise, you will lose your way. I need you to study, review, and make everything clear. If you have any question, of course, you are so welcome. And we are going to meet again at 1 p.m. Okay? We are going to meet again today at 1 p.m. Till we meet again, I wish everyone wonderful time and enjoy your study.
Wait, Dr. Ada, should we do our quiz?
I
You
will
need-
send the quiz. I will send the quiz, okay, through the
files,
file,
Canvas.
file, yes. And now I'm going to take your attendance. So stay online and respond to when I call your name.